Hi, everybody. This is Dawn, aka Professor D. I'm here with some members of the NYC design team from this year's Indigitous HACK 2022 at Alliance University. If you've seen any of the other videos and interviews that we've had earlier in the week or wherever you're finding this, we've had some really cool conversations with some of the teams. And we hope to have some conversations with some folks from the Alliance University team. But this here are people who are near and dear to my heart. They are folks who served on our Design and Friends team and pretty much helped make this whole thing happen. So I'm not going to take too much time. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about themselves, and then from there, we're just going to talk a little bit about the experience and the teams, their impressions of the projects, and they're going to share a little bit about any projects that they're working on as well and how they can be reached and contacted. So without me babbling any further, which is now my line for all these interviews, let's talk. How about if we start with just you guys go around, just introduce yourselves very quickly and just tell us a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll kind of dive into the conversation. How about we start with Kayla?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kayla Serpa. My background, I studied video production in college, currently working in IT. And I have a dusting of an understanding of programming, so I'm not too unfamiliar with the, I guess, the structure of programming. So I'm very techie too, so yeah.
Cool. How about you, Trevon?
Hi, everyone. My name is Trevon Campbell, and I consider myself a technical professional, an IT professional. My background is in IT, specifically in the hardware part of things. I also have a background in education, so I used to teach folks how to get into that technical career. I also have a little bit of coding experience and in the background, and yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
All right.
All right, Travis, you're last but not least.
So my name is Travis Roach. I also have a lot of experience in the tech space, working for either large enterprises that were in the tech industry or technical roles. My day-to-day job as a product manager is definitely highly technical, and work with engineers and build software. Me.
Everyone's being super humble and giving the super short descriptions of themselves, which is cool. A little quick tidbit that I love to like flex because everybody's doing so well in life. So I know everyone on this call because in one way or another, they've worked with me either as a student. Actually, all of you guys have been a student. Travis, you weren't directly a student, but I've known you. So I'm getting old as some of my gray hair can show, and I'm gonna probably say that until I take my last breath. It's super amazing to like have known all of you for like a long time. Some of you since you were like, in high school. And now like you guys are grown, some of you have families, you're all professionals. So it's pretty awesome. And it's really cool that we've all been able to keep in touch. So I just want to, first of all, publicly thank you all for Hack 2022 New York City was the absolute first time it's been done in the city. It's right now, this Friday, 40 cities around the world are kicking off their hacks. Us in New York and a couple of other cities kicked it off last weekend on the 7th and 8th. Some went through the 9th. And, there's a combination of both virtual, in-person, and hybrid. And it takes a lot of work. I mean, the Indigitous team, which is, been organizing this for several years and working in partnership with the city champions, was just phenomenal. But I can say without a doubt that there would be no Hack 2022 in New York City if we didn't have you guys on with us, in addition to our partnership with Alliance University. So I'm super excited and super thankful for just all of you guys helping out. And Trevon was on the ground, and he was like the right hand man and keeping me from like losing my mind and keeping me steady. And Travis and Kayla joined us as coaches. They were also judges for our two teams, and they're going to talk a little bit about what they thought and sort of overall impressions. And then we have some other folks who are not on the call right now, including Joe Sumter. There'll be a separate interview with him. And some of the folks at Alliance University, Venus, Grace, Chris, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting some other people, but we'll kind of get them all on a call. So again, this couldn't have been anything without them. What's phenomenal about Hack is it's an opportunity for people to come from all parts of not just the city, but different states. And like I said, this happens all over the world, and for us to take time to build and to meet our community needs. The tagline is missions, technology for missions, and a lot of us are believers in Jesus Christ, and that makes it like all the more better. I think a number of us have had experience with some kind of tech event, if it's not a hackathon. And I think just the fact that we were able to work together over a couple of months and bring this to fruition is just like amazing. And I'm already looking forward to 2023. But what I'd like to do is just take some time to talk to each of you about, what were your overall experience? Why did you get involved in Hack, or how did you get involved in Hack? And let's talk a little bit about the teams and, what did you think about the projects that were presented? Just what do you guys think would be next steps? And then we'll talk about some of the things you guys are working on as well. So I'll just let you guys just jump in. I mean, it's a conversation. So dive in with how you found out about Hack. How did I rope you into this? And what do you think about the teams that received awards for this year?
I thought I guess I can start. Well, one of my previous positions, I was responsible for putting together a coding bootcamp at Alliance University, and that coding bootcamp, if it had worked out how it was meant to work out, would have kind of fell in line with this hackathon quite perfectly, So initially, when Don kind of came to me with the idea, it felt like the right thing to do to me personally, and also the fact that I never went to a hackathon before. I thought it was really a good idea to be a part of creating something like it, and I feel like personally it really was a great experience. I only wish I could have participated more as a participant. I feel like there were some gains I could have gained from that perspective as well, but this definitely was something that I will cherish for the very long time. I was able to. I was responsible for, I feel like, a lot of different things, including helping keep things calm, because apparently my nature is to just be calm all the time, even when things seems nuts. So I'm glad that I was able to contribute in that way. In terms of the teams, I feel like I was actually just speaking to a family member yesterday about some of the projects and how exciting they were. I feel like, me personally, if I were being honest, I feel like someone should have coded something from scratch. So I'm a little disappointed by that. I feel like the Figma route was, although it was, very beautiful at the end, I feel like there was a team that I was potentially rooting for, but they gave up halfway through, and that was a little disappointing. And they were kind of coding something from scratch, and I just wish they continued, you know.
Yeah,
But
I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but one of
Yeah.
the cool things, and I want to make sure we get Travis and Caitlin will come back.
Yeah.
But one of the cool things about this event is that it was billed as a low code, no code solution or friendly event. And so what was nice and having a conversation with one of the teams, another conversation will follow this evening, Ecclesia Seed, they were talking about how, and JP actually, he had some experience with this and he's been to several hacks. So that was like an advantage for them. But he was actually talking about how he found the workshops really helpful, Trevon and Travis, you guys ran, and he leaned towards Figma just because he wanted to, get off the bat as quickly as possible, especially with the team that didn't really have a whole lot of experience coding or doing anything of that nature. But he said he actually was trying to figure out how to connect Figma to Xano, and he felt like I just probably can't do it in like the 4 hours, and then the other team, Jaywalk, was pretty much brainstorming, I think pretty much till like we were letting people who weren't going to stay overnight stay. So yeah, I hear you about the coding, and I think that's one of the things we can look forward to, sort of being able to build up teams as they go forward, and the ones that are going to move into building an MVP, and then even the workshops to just bring to the larger community. But I think what was exciting was that people didn't have to know how to code, and what this probably does is create a conversation, a dialogue about, okay, now you've learned how to rapidly prototype. What if you want to build it? What if you want to code it? Or as Travis has shown as a professional in the industry, he's not coding all the time, but he's working with engineers and he's able to quickly prototype ideas. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like our challenge if we can go to like a 2-day or maybe even do like a month-long hack. But I think it was pretty exciting to see just some people come together with different backgrounds and get something up. And Joe mentioned that just to have something up on screen in such a short period of time, knowing people weren't all coders, was pretty cool. And my hat's off to both of you, because if we didn't have those workshops, it may not have panned out that way. We might have had more people giving presentations with like napkin sketches, and that's okay too, because that's kind of the spirit of at least what we were doing. But it's just something to keep in mind for those that are watching, that you don't necessarily have to know how to code to participate in hackathons, and look for the ones that say that they're open to people who don't have experience or are new to tools, and encourage your hackathon organizers or other type of tech events to include education, on the same day or on the same moment as the event, so that you can actually, get in and dive in quickly. So with that said, I want to switch over to Travis real quick, because you led the workshop on Figma, and both the teams that received awards for most complete projects and most complete project that used an API or open source use Figma to basically make their point. So just talk to us a little bit about, why Figma, and, what's your experience with prototyping, and, how do you think that fit in with sort of like what we're trying to do with the hackathon this year?
Yeah, I'll definitely answer that. I know you had the other question too, that you probably want me to answer about getting involved, and getting involved was due to you just asking me and you not saying no. So obviously you've been very supportive with me throughout the many years that we've known each other. So obviously when you have that type of relationship, it's hard to say no to individuals like that. You want to obviously give and support, even if you do have a ton of reading and whatnot to do, and a newborn all at the same time.
That's right. Congratulations, Travis. And in case he doesn't say it, Travis is actually now studying for his DBA at which school are you at?
Pitt.
No, that was quick. Oh yeah, right. He's got the Pitt shirt on. You were leaned over, so I couldn't really see. Show us the shirt, Travis.
So
Okay.
Yeah, University of Pittsburgh, Cass School of Business, so pursuing a doctoral in business administration, but still very, very much invested in tech. And to get back to your question, if I remember it correctly, is that Figma is basically how I work. I work heavily in Figma to either build new software or to update existing software to enhance, adding new features. So for me, where I'm coming from, it definitely is like I think I've said, it's definitely a great tool for conversations or facilitating conversations either with your customers, your stakeholders that are requesting a particular feature or functionality or completely new software. It's low investment and in a sense high impact, and similar to what I had put in my presentation is that without a lot of the back end effort, you can pretty much scope out a lot of the interactions and just get a general idea of the direction you want to go. And then you get into that more formal conversation with the engineering team of which my boss or my manager gave me an answer like anything in technology is possible as long as you have the time and the money to do it. So knowing that a lot of people don't have the time, and especially with the hackathon, you're pretty much constrained by time. And yeah, you don't have money, you can't hire a bunch of engineers. Either you have the skill or you don't. Using a low-code solution like Figma definitely helps to express your vision and really convey the direction to which you're going. And then, yeah, then you can really take that next step in saying what's doable, what should we start building, and I think the process is a lot faster when you take that route instead of, oh, we just coded all of this and we can't even use it anymore. We have to go back to scratch. So you kind of take it slow, but you still have hopefully the same amount of impact. But that's just my thoughts and from my experience.
Awesome. And then Kayla, let's get your thoughts on, how'd you get into hack? Sure, you're gonna say I dragged you into, and just what were your thoughts in terms of the team, since again, you and Travis both served as judges. Trevon, you still here? All right, Trevon,
Yeah,
taking a quick.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Let's get you on camera, okay? People want to see your lovely face. All right, go ahead, Kayla.
So I got into hack because I'm asked me, but I've never okay. So she asked me at a time where I was transitioning from New York to Texas. So I was like, I've never done a hack before or hackathon, and even when I was over in New York, and I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to head out to New York at this time. That's all in God's will. But it definitely, I'm glad I was able to serve in this capacity, at least. Hopefully for 23, it'll be different. God willing. And what was the other part?
That's okay. Just talk a little bit about your impressions of the teams,
Okay.
whatever you want to talk about since you were a judge.
Both teams are pretty good. I'm very impressed how quickly they were able to put together something in the almost 2 days they had to work on it, and just how quickly they were just able to put something together. I was pretty impressed with all the information that the second team Jaywalk put together, and just like the charts, the basically feedback they were able to get and everything. So they both had really great ideas, both scalable, both able to be pushed forward if they ever want to continue it. So
Yeah, and it's interesting too because I think you guys were still on when the vice president of special projects was talking, but one of the really cool things that came out of it, Grace Matthews, like I said, is the vice president of special projects at Alliance University. They were our host and sponsor and partner. And she was talking about how she really felt both projects were great. Particularly with Acacia Seed, she's like, we have a need for it. Someone from Indigitous mentioned the same thing. And Jaywalk was just, as far as presentation and having everyone on the team, have input and present. They did a bang up job. And both projects are going to move into hopefully global considerations for Indigenous. So that's something we're looking forward to. And then both teams will basically get coached into moving from sort of rapid prototype, which, by the way, that was actually 24 hours for them. Most of the hackathons do run from Friday to Sunday. We only had Friday evening, Saturday evening. So it was roughly around 24 hours, which is still impressive. And yeah, they're excited to, see where they can take it going forward, looking to have office hours with them, looking to basically help them build an MVP out of that. And then just to connect them with resources, both in New York City and abroad. So, keep an eye out for that. And yeah, so all of you guys are talking about how I asked you and you said, yes, thank you. Could you imagine what would have happened if like I was still teaching? Like, do you know the pull I could have had? Like people get bad grades if they don't show up. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't think I've ever done that to anyone. But no, it's fantastic. And I'm already thinking about 2023, and I think there's a lot of things we can do. Cross borders as well. Some of you probably know that London has a really, extra credit for sure, Kayla. London has a really amazing project and team that's sort of the counterpart. And it's one of the reasons that inspired me to say, hey, we need to get this in New York. But there are other cities, Dallas and Austin have a hack going on right now. Boston's got a hack going on. I don't think there's a Pittsburgh one, Travis. So you can come plant one from Boston to Pittsburgh and represent. We could do it at UPitt. Yeah. Looking forward to that. And Trevon, we're both from New York, but we could go to the Caribbean. I'm looking forward to.
I know exactly where.
Oh yeah, me too. Okay, dude, you want to tell us? Or are you going to keep us in suspense?
Jamaica. It's a wonderful island.
Good for representing, Travis.
I was talking to a relative as of yesterday, and I was thinking about like the possibility of something like that been done like in Dominica. I'm not sure what kind of outcome it could get, but I feel like it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, like you guys like, oh, Jamaica, oh baby Dominica, Kayla, you're American, but I know you got your Puerto Rican roots, right? I'm telling you, this isn't even like a question for me. Like I see this turning into not just an event where different cities are hacking at the same time, but we're kind of clustered. I see this happening where we've got these groups coming together at the same time, and all of us are in live feeds. And if we're in cities, there are different locations within the city where you can go and hang out, sort of like what they do with Developer Week, if any of you guys have ever seen that, or South by Southwest in Austin. So like the sky's the limit. But one of the things I would say that's really a big goal for this, and really, this isn't just limited to Hack 2022. I think this is the case with a lot of hackathons, is projects, come together, and sometimes they're really, really great ideas, but they, as I've said over the time, they die on the vine. And so one of the goals is to try to do something about that, so that projects will continue, so that, maybe next year we can have some, if they're contributing to open source, that, are qualified for that, for Hacktoberfest, and just start integrating, the solutions in our communities. So that's why we came together, right, to build for our communities. But if it just stays at the hackathon, then, effectively we brought people together and we've had great fellowship, but we haven't really hit the goal of, those who we're building for being able to use the resources. So we want to kind of think about that. One quick shout out I want to give before I ask you guys what you're up to, and then we get ready to wrap, is Christina Serpa, Kayla's sister, because she lent us, regular folks feedback in terms of when we were, just talking about workshops or opportunities or projects or even prizes. And I really appreciate her also having given us her feedback as well, because, by way of Kayla, she kind of got dragged into it, but she's a trooper, she's great. And she gave us some good feedback too. And like I also mentioned, there are other people were involved on Alliance side, university side of things, and Indigitous. So super grateful to everybody. But with the few minutes we have left, if you are comfortable and you're interested, can we just take maybe like 2 minutes per person to talk about like anything you're interested in terms of technology, or faith and missions, or combination thereof, or any projects you're working on? Let's start with Trevon, and then we'll do Kayla, and then we'll do Travis.
Okay. Well, I've been into lots of different things lately. I feel like they feel like the thing that I've found most interesting in the past couple of days at least is it's not something that I guess I can show you. I can just tell you what I've been working on. So I have this computer that's effectively you can call a server, and it is a virtualization server. And lately I've been using it to explore these different open source tools. I found it it's pretty cool how there's a lot of people out there who build these open source products and just put them out there. And it's interesting because, like, although I've been in the IT space for a while, I feel like I'm unlocking its potential, you know, with the fact that I have a virtualization server right next to me, that I can then up any type of operating system that I may want, and kind of just do different cool things, you know. So that's as much as I can share for now, I guess.
Super top secret. Okay, we'll get more from you since you're doing open source. We'll just look for your GitHub. Kayla, how about you?
I'm working my own e-commerce site, and in various avenues in that regard, from providing classes to provide selling merchandise. So yeah, it's still on the ground. God's been getting on me on that, but yeah.
Nice.
Don't worry, we've got plenty of people to push you and help you fly, myself included. Travis, how about you?
I'm not really actively involved in anything. As I mentioned, I am in the doctoral program right now, and for me, it's about positioning it for obviously what I'm going to do, or where I'm going to paint my career after. I kind of basically my Figma presentation was on sports tech, or the sports tech mockup that I built, and that's something in which I want to continue down. The program itself is more just a general business program. It's not really technology focused. It's very general about applying research, but just looking to position myself in a way that I can ideally continue what I started years ago. I even had tried to build started building another app after that was more specific to, the first one was fantasy oriented. The next app was more from a coaching perspective, just because I spent many years, or basically a decade, as a high school or a college assistant coach. So I had a lot of familiarity with that world and the needs of players and coaches. So yeah, I think that's the direction I'm going. And like I said, just try to leverage my current schooling to get me to take opportunities there.
Cool. I mean, you guys are all working on exciting stuff, and since I've been successful roping into helping with this, I'll continue to do that. So look for more pleas for help. But again, I can't thank you guys enough for just. I mean, I really seriously, this wouldn't have happened the way it did without your support and for many of your prayers. And the teams also really, really appreciated it, having conversations with them all week. And like I said, JP's been to a bunch of hacks, and he found the workshops very helpful. So thank you for that. And we're going to post your slide deck up and put those on the microsite. We're also going to probably put some of this stuff up on like YouTube or someplace where people can access it freely. How can people reach you? We have like 5 minutes left. So real quick, let's start with Trevon, and Kayla, and Travis. How can people stay in touch with you or follow the projects you're working on?
That's a good question. I'm not sure to answer that question.
You can be old school and just say email for now if you want,
Yeah,
but you know.
let's say email TrevonLCampbell@gmail.com. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Kayla, how about you?
I'm gonna have to say email as well. I'm just like, it just hit me. I'm like, wait, I have to get social media up and all that, but and even my website email too. So, but my email I can be reached as my name Kayla R Serpa@gmail.com.
Awesome. Travis?
LinkedIn. I guess I don't know if that's old school, but yeah, LinkedIn is generally the best place to catch me. So I'm pretty active there. So.
Okay. Are you Travis something Roach, or just Travis Roach, or how do people find you with your handle?
Just Travis Roach.
Awesome.
I think I'm one maybe. I don't think there's too many on there.
Ah, okay.
So.
I'm gonna have to look that up now. I feel like there might be a few of you, not you, but of those names. That's cool. All right, awesome. Well,
I'm on LinkedIn too.
You're on LinkedIn? Okay, yeah, LinkedIn, listen. I hung out at an event that had a lot of people. I mean, everybody and their mom was on LinkedIn. I was the only one trying to go old school with it. So LinkedIn is definitely an important tool. But guys, thanks again so much. We really appreciate it. And for those who are watching, if you have any more questions or just want to kind of keep in touch, we do have a Discord. We'll get that information out to you guys shortly. We have an email listserv. We're not spamming anybody. So, you know, if you subscribe, we'll be respectful in terms of communication, and be on the lookout for more news about the teams. And also, if you yourself are interested in trying to build a product within the Christian tech community and you want to get that off the ground, reach out to us on professor.d.nyc@gmail.com. Also on LinkedIn, but hit me up on email. I'm usually pretty quick on that, Slack and Discord. So thanks, guys. We'll stay in touch, and I'll be dragging you into the next set of activities for hack and other stuff. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
For
Bye.
sure.